Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Lots of staying at home time, huh? Hope everybody out there is doing well as we can do in these unusual times we got going on. Anyway, with all this time off, staying at home, I've gotten getting some projects done, and one of the projects today was this. And some of you will recognize this, and some of you won't. This is a cabinet for a Origin 50 watt head Marshall amplifier. You might say, well, where's the amplifier part? Well, right now we're talking just about the cabinet. If any of you have shopped for one of these or own one of these, you'll notice there's something that's missing at the top. Oh, and that is ventilation. This grid right here is not factory. I installed this hole today, and I thought the camera was running, and it's not, so, or it wasn't, so I'll have to give you guys an aftermath of what's going on. First off, I ordered this from Amplified Parts. This is a Marshall vent, I think for a lot newer Marshall head, but I thought let's give this a shot. I have the smaller ones, but I wanted to try this one since it didn't cost much. I think it was like $5 or something. By the way, Amplified Parts does not sponsor me, so this isn't a sponsored video. Make sure I'm in the camera there. I can't see myself. So I'm just showing you what I bought. Now, to get the hole in the, let's do this real quick. To get the hole in the head, you have to do it. A lot of people don't want to do it, and I didn't want to do it. So this was solid up in here. So what I had to do is I wanted to get this puppy measured in the center as best as possible. So you have this center piece in here, so I had measured the length and the width of that, and then calculated as best I could of centering it in the middle of the cabinet, which isn't real, doesn't usually work well for me. Every time I try to make something perfectly centered, I usually get it off like by about 2 feet or something, so this has actually worked out pretty good. After I got everything marked, I taped off, and actually let me show you what I used. I used my welding marking pencil here to mark the lines off. What the heck is this? There it is. It's not designed for what I was doing. It works great on steel, but it gave me enough of a indicator to mark this hole. So all I did was take my calculations here and try to center it to where I have equal distance between each side, and then I did the same here. One of the things, not so much centered here, but one of the things you have to keep in mind if you do something like this is right here you have this piece here. This is where the back grill goes on. I don't know if they call it the back grill, but anyway, the back ventilation panel goes here. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's not, you have to measure the distance of the face of this that comes back here. Because if you're not careful and you cut into this, and you cut into this back piece here, you're going to be in trouble. I think I've got like about 1/8 of an inch literally between this piece here and the edge here. So I cleared that. Yeah, that's one of the, for me, that was the most nerving part. It's like, okay, because you're measuring it. I took my calipers and I went in here and I measured that. And then I went all the way down and I took my calipers and actually scored a mark in here, and then prayed to God that I'd measured correctly, because once you drill that first hole, it's all over. So we did that up there, and then we just measured it up in here. So I drilled 4 holes into the wood here, and then took my scroll saw and had fun with it. Very scary, you know, because if you screw up on this, you're over. I also took this handle off. Pulled these off, pulled the handle off, because I noticed that my scroll saw didn't have enough room here, so I wanted to get those out of the way. I was able to use my straight edge butted up against here, and then run the scroll saw up against the straight edge, so that helped on this side. This side I had to freehand it, because when I brought the straight edge over on this side, I couldn't I couldn't clamp it down. My C-clamp would not go in here far enough. I was using a welding clamp and it wasn't deep enough to grab a hold of it. I thought, you know what, so this one we had to do by eye, and it's not perfect. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's not perfect. I don't know if you can, but it's straight enough for what I put in there. And then I painted this black too right here, the whole thing, to try to make it look halfway decent. What else? Scroll saw measurement from this back piece here. You got to make sure you get that distance correctly. Like I said, if I would have been 1/8 of an inch towards the back, I would have run into that, and I didn't want to do that. So that didn't affect the mechanical functionality of it. And then you just drop your piece in there. I don't have the screws for it yet. I'll get those tomorrow. Let's see. There we go. Takes 8 screws. I'll get some 8 small screws, probably stainless, maybe stainless or black. I got on the website, they didn't have them. They have rivets, but I didn't want to put rivets in there. I just as soon use a screw in there. And then we'll go ahead and 8 screw that down and put it all back together. And there you go. You have ventilation. I think that'll help out a lot. It'll be overkill for a 50 watt amp, but you know, it's definitely going to breathe. So that was my project for today. We'll put it back together tonight. I wanted to get a video out of it in case some of you guys who are musicians want to do something like that. As a matter of fact, I'm seriously considering doing the exact same thing my Plexi had. It's not an original Plexi, it's a reissue, but same thing. It doesn't have any ventilation at the top, and it just, if you're playing for long periods of time, the puppies get hot, and that's not good for the tubes, and it's not good for the case either. So I like things to breathe, and that's what I did. So, like I said, I'm not suggesting you do something like that, but if you do decide to tackle that, it can be done. And I'm no Woodmaster Whiz. Woodmaster? Something like that. Anyway, also another project here. We'll finish this. Let's see, we got some of this buttoned up. Got the receiver mounted here. This one's probably going to go back here, but for right now, temporary, we got that. Got some of the wires. This one I'm going to figure out what I do. I installed the kill switch, ran the LED over here. Really didn't need the LED because the top piece here that goes on here has a tachometer. So as soon as you turn the ignition on, it comes on, but I thought, well, what the heck. Going to finish mounting up the motor. I got to use some Loctite on these. Pretty much got everything situated, put the gas line on, and then break this puppy in. So maybe tomorrow if I fire this puppy up, I'll try to videotape that, see how that goes. I got a mess here, I'll straighten all that stuff out. But that's what we got going on, just killing projects around the house, doing some plumbing, doing some fun stuff, some not so fun stuff. So anyway, that's all I got going on. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Stay healthy out there. What a mess. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye.